just say I'm pissed off, Angelo. I'm pissed off.
There's not a will me to shut up and let me answer.
I ain't putting coffee. I didn't put
I'm calling both games.
This rendition of Sportsball is brought to you by the fine folks at Edge Sports. I know it's a crazy belief to think, but I desire to improve my knowledge of football and the tactics that are employed. Analytics are a burgeoning medium in the NFL, and Edge Sports is at the forefront of it. It simulates games 400,000 times to get an accurate prediction of the outcome. Let's say I want information about Chicago versus Minnesota. They like the Vikings with a slight advantage with their simulating engine, but that's not all. If you're into sports betting, you can see the probabilities of covering the spread. Say you don't like the Vikings by 3. You have a hunch that there will be more than 47.5 points scored? You can see the probabilities in any of their results. And the same goes for Chiefs versus Saints later on. I can see their team rankings, news, and updates throughout the week as well. But that's not all Edge Sports can do. As someone trying to learn football analytics, say why coaches prefer to go for it on 4th down in certain situations. They offer weekly coach rankings, some of the best and worst moves in terms of win percentage change in a given week, and much more. These rankings and data models aren't just trusted, but are used regularly by numerous media outlets, the NFL, and the NCAA. All this is yours by simply clicking the link below and subscribing to Edge Sports. Rates start at $9.99 a month for football only and $19.99 a month for all sports. You know what? Let's make this better. Use the promo code UTREE50 to get half off your subscription price. Perhaps it'll make a nice gift for someone this month. Or maybe you just want it for yourself, I won't judge. Either way, the information is at your fingertips with Edge Sports. Now on to the week in Sportsball. Sean McVay's biggest regret over the past few years was being outcoached in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. It's eaten at his soul to this very day. Once they have their rematch, he will make sure that he doesn't make the same mistakes again. The Rams will learn their lessons. He will have his team dominate their former oppressors in nearly every aspect of play. He will force a team that shit on their little brother in the same stadium days earlier to suffer the same fate. New England could literally get nothing going on offense. Cam Newton's wrecked shoulder was laid bare to see. If there was any doubt, LA's relentless pass rush would do the rest. Michael Brockers feasted on Super Cam's rotting corpse as Cam Akers shanked them in the gut with the running game. Any glimmer of hope the Patriots had of a postseason vanished in the blink of an eye. The Rams will reassert themselves as a legitimate foe in the NFC after some doubts about their long-term sustainability. For how wide open the conference is, it's a needed step for them. They are contenders. And with that revamped defense, it may be a legitimate claim. The losing for Lawrence is the key war, but there was another top prize ripe for the taking for teams like these. The sucking for Sewell. Some say he's the best offensive tackle prospect they've seen since Orlando Pace, and the Bungles desperately need line help. So what's the formula for securing such a bounty? Fumbles, and lots of them. The sculpture is being depicted as I speak. The new age butt fumble. It isn't as majestic as a certain other one, but imitations are rarely as good as the original. Cincinnati may be lost at sea, but they can at least do one thing right. Allow Andy Dalton his revenge for years of futility. Joke's on the Cowboys. They not only still have little chance of winning Tank Division, but they lose precious draft position as well. Only if the Bungles could stop ruining everything, I'd have more optimism. The G-men have false hope flooding throughout their long-dead bodies. Stunningly upsetting a top-flight Seahawks team has them thinking bigger. Maybe Tank Division title. Daniel Jones is back. Maybe it would have been better if he sat out a little longer. I don't know if it's the injury or return to old form, but he looked terrible. It was nice watching him not turn the ball over, wasn't it? Well, it's gone now. Arizona's too eager to end their short-term skid to allow you a dopamine rush. It's back to crippling depression for the likes of you. The Cardinals reclaim the final wildcard spot as consolation for this anguish. We will accept this outcome. This is the game where a handful of his defenders will point to Mitch Trubisky not being a brutal disappointment as a Bear. It comes with the asterisk of being against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, but for one day, Mitch looked like Montana. And holy shit did they need it. Not only do they cease a 6-game collapse, but they potentially put themselves back in the playoff conversation. Plus the whole momentum thing. That could help there as well. It's good to bully on terrible teams again, isn't it? And to not be on the other end of it. Houston, this loss continues an incredibly bitter season full of avoidable fuck-ups. Once again, should have fired him back in January. We now go live to King Henry's latest conquest. It was once called Jacksonville. The rubble that was once their city will make a nice backstop for enslaving the survivors. It's funny, the only defense they had was a tank, and it didn't fire a single shot. Can't fail when you don't try to defend. Now that's efficiency. The city may be on fire and thousands are crying as they are indiscriminately slaughtered, but there is good news. Gardner Minshew was finally able to do something. The loss had been firmly secured enough to allow him to potentially do terrible things, like produce offense. Tennessee likes their puppet states to be docile, so the feckless leader they have might be able to live. At least for now. You never know with the Titans. I keep getting transported there. The jungles of Nam. My body may be in Tampa Bay, but my spirit lives on there. All we had to do was kick it through the uprights. That would have won the war. But they didn't. The Viet Cong kept coming, but we did it to ourselves. Now I have to see it happen over and over again. The field goals. Wide. It never ends. I swore to myself I'd bury the pain, but it only drives me further into madness. The misses cost us another win. Why, Bailey? Why have you forsaken us? We had it all, damn it! Now the season is all but lost. Save me from this purple hell. Save me, Gary. One question, Denver. Where the fuck has this been all season? You know this is the kind of performance that I was expecting out of you on a consistent basis. Yet you keep choosing to taper off to lower expectations. Drew Lock skied the damn ball all day. 4 touchdowns and mastery of the deep pass. Team defense was suffocating the Panthers for most of the time. See? This is what happens when you play up to potential, Denver. You look formidable and intimidating. Sad thing is that it's probably far too late to make an impact in the season. Even then, they'll go back to being as brutally frustrating as ever next week because this is how it's been the past few seasons. You know, Kansas City is pretty good at this game. They aren't randomly self-destructing on offense, that is. Against the Dolphins, it's more of the same. If they're locked in and stoking the engines, I don't know if there are many teams that can truly stop them. How quickly a game can turn from baffling to decisive can only be recorded in nanoseconds. And it's a shame, too, since Miami has been putting on some damn good performances as of late. They've low-key impressed me this season. To see Brian Flores not only adapt to the head coach role, but thrive in it is very inspiring to see. He has his players consistent. He has their respect. He's not trying to be something he's not. He's Brian Flores. And I think that's one of the best attributes of him and his team. They're mainly interested in, what's the term, doing their jobs. Now, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs this season, but being able to hang in there against some of the best teams in football has them earning my praise. The game may have been lost, but there is much to be proud of. Please, keep it going. The New York Jets. Every week is something fantastically awful to witness. The Seahawks figured that losing to one bad New Jersey-based team was enough. This game, predictably, was never close. It just reinforced both the imperfect season and Seattle's division hopes. Jets, may I suggest one thing? Market yourself as a comedy act. I'm dead serious when I say this. With how awful modern comedy is these days, you'll be the funniest thing shown in mainstream media. Hell, I'm in stitches every time I have to witness your games every week. This is a professional football team? These fuckers had us all realize that Geno Smith is still in the league. And he led his team to as many points as the Jets had. How's that for humor? You think I'm missing this for the world? This is one of the most anticipated matchups in football's recent memory. The ultimate choke bowl. Such a game needs respect. It needs its own video. As weird as it sounds, this game has significant playoff impact for both franchises. The Colts are still trying to keep pace with a certain Titan horde. The Raiders, despite escaping New York with the gift of tanks, want to prove last week was just a blip on the radar. That wasn't going to happen. Indianapolis is just too well-rounded for some autumn wind to try and upend them. You'll need to do better to try and pull off a win. Sorry, Vegas, you'll get to be on the outside looking in again with an uphill battle to make it to postseason salvation. It would be better if team defense managed to show up consistently, but that's just wishful thinking. Chucky killing off Paul Gunther is a start. I don't know if it'll be enough, but it's something. Green Bay, this is your moment to shine. Detroit may be hungry and eager to prove themselves as redeemed, but it will not matter to you. There is a great prize for you to strive for today. To return as kings of the North. Besides, it's Detroit. They've been your carpet to trample on for many years. Despite your superiority, the Lions will put up a fight. The contest is a tug of war. A duel of fate and fury. Both teams would take their turns coming to blows with their adversary. And they both play well. But once again, the Packers will prove superiority today. They will eke ahead in the end and stay there. No shame in losing, Detroit. You fought hard. But I feel this hurts more due to previous losses instead of what happened today. As Michigan fades, the reward for Wisconsin is now theirs. The NFC North crown. I can't make a damn thing of the Saints. I keep feeling they should be performing much better in games instead of either winning ugly or flopping hard. Guess what happened today? You're facing a team playing like shit in the Eagles. They're starting Jalen Hurts in his first career start. So why the hell did the team come out flat? I know Breeze isn't the same as he was, but you need him back ASAP. Taysom Hill isn't a full-time starter. He's ironically Nick Foles, a guy whose best is a situational player who struggles with regular play. The Eagles' defense, particularly their front four, devoured his inexperience. I keep asking questions, but I'm more concerned about what happened to their run defense. Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts treated you like a Big Ten school. So not only did you lose embarrassingly, it may have cost them the #1 seed. Green Bay beat them earlier in the year, so they have tiebreaker. I know it's not the end of the world, but I'm still afraid of the other shoe dropping. I have the past few years as reference for that. I think Arizona's field isn't meant to handle taking a beating every week. Looking at it in the San Francisco-Washington matchup, it looks like Heinz Field after the high school championship games. Was there a cattle auction on it a few days before or something? It could explain how Name Redacted's offense could do next to nothing all game. True, the Niners have a good defense, but it was a borderline black hole. Only got worse as Alex Smith had to leave the game early due to injury, and the reintroduction of Dwayne Haskins to the flock. Normally this would result in the total destruction of a team and be the end of it. But one thing Washington has done as of late is forge one of the best defenses in football. It's relentless, it's persistent, and it gets results. The majority of the points earned for them were due to or were the result of turnovers. Nick Mullins died, and then he died again. As he's revived, he learns that the football team now controls Tank Division due to a 4-game winning streak, in which he is summarily killed by Chase Young. I knew they were fucking due for this. Dancing on the midfield logo before the game? Aren't you supposed to be done with this shit? Steelers, please, stop. We need to talk. No, stop passing the damn ball away. I bet these receivers couldn't even catch Pokemon. Listen to me. You got your asses kicked, but it's fixable. All you have to do is stop being one-dimensional, and to realize that Ben isn't what he was and needs to keep it simple, and learn to cover Stephon Diggs, and learn to adjust something besides the goddamn heating unit. Holy shit, the defense can only hold on for so long. You have to diversify the offense. Stop pretending that passing the ball 40-50 times a game is fucking sustainable. Jesus Christ, can we please send Feetner down the Ohio already? Please? Wait a second. Doesn't this mean that New England won't be able to win the AFC East? Perhaps some good can come out of Buffalo's decisive victory after all. And yes, the Steelers officially clinched a playoff berth? 25 years. It's been that long since the Browns moved to Baltimore, betraying the diehard fans of Cleveland. It's been a rough go for them ever since. Big Brother has always picked on their mistake of a sibling. The NFL should have gotten a vasectomy, we all thought. Why do we need the Browns? It only took 13 years, but Cleveland finally has a team that is good at the game of football. The first winning season since 2007. Consistency and talent throughout the lineup. Baker returning to rookie form. They are legit, and they are hungry for more. Baltimore is returning to their old stomping grounds. The time has come for a new age to emerge. One where the Ravens are the ones at the bottom of the table. This matchup can be described with 3 words. The running game. It could not be stopped for either team. Lamar scrambling like Vic in his prime. The duo of Chubb and Hunt wedging defensive schemes. If it isn't close, it's at least exciting. Baltimore has taken a commanding 14-point lead in the third quarter. Mayfield has thrown a rare interception. All hope is lost for the Browns. Except for one issue. Lamar Jackson had to take a massive shit. The Chipotle he ate before the game rushes through his bowels as he rushes to the locker room. Even without OBJ, the Browns would relish in this unfortunate offensive constipation. They would unleash the fury and defecate on the Baltimore defense. 15 points scored in a violent outburst. The Ravens' defense, their toilet. No courtesy flushes needed when Baker has everything to prove. With the stadium at a fever pitch and now down by 1, Baltimore's season hangs in the balance. Lamar's taking his sweet time in the John. They're going to need a miracle to pull this one out. Holy shit. What the hell am I witnessing? The game of the decade? Not if team defenses have anything to do with it. On the next drive, Cleveland will push it out and shove it through. What is secondary play? Marcus Peters is too busy slipping to give a damn. But there's one problem. The Ravens have too much time. And with a refreshed Lamar, they get to field goal range quickly. And you know what they say about Justin Tucker.
Can you feel it? I do feel it. Can you sense it? Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, my God.
Ice in his goddamn veins. They took Cleveland's ambitions and shit all over them. Baltimore may have not only salvaged the game, but may have saved their entire season in the process. To Cleveland, this may be a brutal loss, but hold your heads high. You played well. This was your watershed game. You are legit. You'll be back here again. Fortunately, someone just had to lose this game. Don't take it too hard on yourselves, boys. You're not the Denver Broncos. I normally would do a poll for LOLCow of the week, but this one is too cut and dry to put up for debate. Marco Wilson of the Florida Gators, pulling the most boneheaded move since Elijah Moore's cosplay as a dog. Florida and LSU are playing a tightly contested matchup. It's huge for Florida, since this game is one of the few things stopping them from a college football playoff berth. It's tied at 34 deep into the fourth quarter. The Gators impressively stop their opponent on third down, but then... the smoking gun. Marco Wilson saw it as a celebratory moment and chucked an opposing player's cleat 25 yards downfield. His head coach may consider it a football move, but shoes aren't playable objects. He may as well have thrown the game as well. LSU gets new life with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and kicks a field goal to have the Tigers take the lead. Florida tries to come back to tie, but their kick goes wide. Ironically, so do the Gators' playoff hopes. Congratulations, Marco! Not only have you sealed your fate in college infamy, you will also be known as the man that was inspired by Nikita Khrushchev. Step into the LOLCow circle, sir. You are a true hero to the rest of the SEC.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Blood for the blood god. Injuries for the injury god.
Unit lost. 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 Unit lost.
May these offerings appease the gods for another week. Amen.
With Montgomery on 1st and 10, his running back in a hole, and then he's off with a nice tip on, and it's a foot race down the sideline. Jackson in pursuit.